Elijah is how old now?
现在13岁。
Elijah?
Yeah.
Elijah's only 13?
Yeah.
你知道他孩子成熟到我都不可相信。What I remember, it was my birthday. Elijah was still only a couple years old. You brought him, 然后他就开始闹。And then 我们就 like, oh, it's just being a kid, whatever. 但是你就很严厉的跟你儿子说，爸爸已经跟你说了，你再闹，爸爸就要带你回家。And then you did it. And I was actually shocked because I think a lot of parents 会威胁他们的孩子，但他不见得说到会做到。Melody 家庭 Podcast。Hello， 大家欢迎回到美乐迪家庭。今天我们在非常美丽又好天气的加州湾区，然后我跟我的非常好跟长久的朋友 Peter。
Well, like my sister.
Yeah， 其实 how long have we known each other?
At least 15 years, I think. No, probably more.
15.
No. Elijah's already 13.
Oh yeah， 其实首先你有几个孩子？
我有几个孩子？我有6个孩子。
他有6个孩子，然后我都还记得 Alice 还怀孕第一胎的时候 ，You guys came to my house one morning,
Yeah.
and you're like, it's a serious talk, well, kind of,
Kind of.
and then you asked me to be his godmother. 但是我不知道我有没有做到责任。What is a godmother? 你帮我讲讲看。What were your expectations?
Well, 我们是 relation based, right? It's about family.Raising kids together 最重要的是你的 influence of their lives. Role models.
Okay,
right?
role model. I guess I can do that. Except 后来我就搬到台湾去了，所以 I wish I could be part of their lives more. 但你们孩子真的实在太可爱了。
好，谢谢。
所以其实我就想说，今天也可以来聊聊做6个孩子的爸爸，然后可以再讲到你自己生命里面现在在做的非常特别的一个企划 ，which is that you invented a game.就是一个 heads up. But yeah, so when you were young, did you always imagine 你一直都有这样子的渴望要有很多很多孩子吗？
我很小的时候就很喜欢小朋友，我自己就在主日学长大的。然后我从很小我就知道说孩子还小的时候是最值得培养的一个年纪，所以我从小就花很多时间跟比较小的孩子，就是我自己还没有孩子的时候我就非常喜欢跟孩子 hang out。对
No, that's true. 因为 Peter 还单身的时候我们就认识嘛，
Yeah.
然后他就已经带了一群小朋友门徒训练他们，你每一周都会请他们去你们家吃饭啊。
对，主日学完毕之后带他们回到家，我觉得才是真正的fellowship time， 就真正的 family time。 就是在教会我们当然有 program and all that， 可是我有一群那时候是4年级到6年级的孩子，是我 discipleship 他们，我
Yeah,
门
and
训他
you
们。
did worship together. You taught them like music and stuff.
Yeah， 因为孩子都喜欢音乐，他们都觉得在台上很风光，可是我跟他们说是从这个跟神的关系开始，所以我就真的就带他们到我家，我们就学习这个比较是 fundamental principles， 然后一起学习做家人 before we get on the stage。That's
crazy， 因为我觉得 it's crazy in a good way， 因为我觉得很多人他们会对儿童事工 it's like a stepping stone， 但其实他们可能要做的是 I want to eventually graduate, you know, and then serve the adults or something like that。 但 I feel like 你一直负担就是在孩子身上。
Yeah， 我 at one point 我其实是 say goodbye to my on stage serving 在那个 adult service， 我就是 stay 在孩子这个地方，因为我自己觉得我们应该给他们 our attention， 来小朋友知道，当我如果1个月只来1次，跟他一起在一个聚会中，他可以感觉得到好像我不是他的 priority， 你知道吗？就他不是我的 priority， 应该这样讲。所以对我来讲，就是如果我真的要 cultivate 那种关系，我需要 always be there。那我们1个礼拜才碰到1次，其实已经非常非常少了。所以再加上这个世界上很多吸引他们的东西，那礼拜天来到这边，他们已经觉得很 bored。如果我没有真的给他们感觉到说我很在意他们的话，那他们根本不想在这里，对不对？所以我为了要 impact 他们，我觉得我需要投资在他们身上的时间，需要 very committed。
哇、
yeah.
那其实你结婚前就已经是这个样子，那结婚后当爸爸后，我觉得更看到你真的就是这样子的爸爸。You're one of the most involved dads that I've ever met. Okay, you have 6 kids. 你又教他们 very skill-based things. Like for example, 不知道大家还记不记得我有一次跟 Alan 薛在一个 house 里面拍了那个叫 What was his song? 唯有耶稣 or something. That was Peter's house. That was Peter's house. 然后你知道是谁在控制每一个的相机吗？就是他的儿子。
Yeah.
He taught them how to be cameramen, how to set up lights. You know, like 那天我们在 set up 的时候，我们在练习。I was so amazed. I was like, 哇，这些孩子那时候也就只有10几岁。Like Elijah is how old now?
现在13岁。
Elijah?
Yeah.
Elijah's only 13，
Yeah.
你知道他孩子成熟到我都不可相信，只有13岁，所以那时候就只有11、12岁。Oh my god，
那时候还是小小的一个。
那么小就已经在
他在 operate 的是专业的器材啊，他
Red
是在用
camera
Red cameras。
Okay,
所以
the other thing about Peter is 他用的都是最等级的。
No, it's because 我觉得要训练小孩就要用最真正是好的东西，你知道吗？因为我自己在教会长大，有时候会感觉说我们都是把剩下的东西给他们用，好像说我们器材淘汰，这个音响淘汰了，我们就把它给 youth， 然后再给 children，所以 children is always 就是好像捡剩下的。但是我觉得 what if 我们 start with giving them the best like industry standard? What's going to happen when they grow up? They're going to be top notch in this industry.
那你那个
right?
insurance 买的很高吗？
没有 insurance 啊，没钱买 insurance。
我学 Peter 真的就是很愿意投资 ，like 所以小小的小朋友11岁就已经在那里 operate Red camera， 所以 I think 你真的是带给很多人一个很不一样的 model for parenting for family. I'm also curious like what made you the way that you are now? Like for one， 你也是 PK 嘛 ，right?
Yeah, I am.
那你觉得 was your dad like this? Like was your growing up like this? 还是什么东西啊？
那我不知道，我觉得我对孩子的这一个期望哈，我觉得是从神来的，也就是一步一步慢慢带上来，不是好像我自己在这个环境，而是我看到这个 impact。Long-term impact 好像就是被 sparked， 觉得 this is the right thing to do.
Was there a moment?
Was there a moment? I don't know. I feel like it's a gradual thing. The more I feel like I am aware the way this world is, battling with the world system is when I feel like we need to raise up a serious army to battle this environment, you know? And they have to start young. 其实这个是我在服侍孩子这段时间，有一次就是神让我感觉到说，孩子呢，我要像大人一样带。大人我要像孩子一样带，很奇怪哈，因为小孩子不喜欢被觉得说你觉得我很小，那小孩子都觉得他很成熟，也是这样子，就是当他成熟，当他觉得他可以的时候，你就是 meet them where they are，actually 他们会长得更快呀。那大人反过来就是神要我们回转像小孩，我觉得是神的一个 wisdom，I feel。
我觉得你一讲我就觉得很特别，所以小孩要像大人一样带，大人要像小孩一样带。
Yeah, it's very funny.
我觉得你真的是像这样子带你的孩子，所以我每次去他们家，然后我就在那边坐着享受，然后 Elijah 就去做 pancake， 然后 Gideon 就去泡咖啡，然后什么的，就是你的孩子真的是很会服侍，然后又很乐意，不会吵闹。I mean， 当然孩子还是孩子，但是他们真的是很乖。
谢谢。
What is the role of discipline? How do you discipline your kids?
我觉得
Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
What I remember.
I do remember.
你讲之前啊，It was my birthday， 可能是我去台湾前的那一年 ，and I invited all my friends. And then 那个时候没有，可能更早，many years ago. Elijah was still only a couple years old， 然后他还是一个 like toddler. You brought him， 然后他就开始闹。And then 我们就 like oh it's just being a kid whatever， 但是你就很严厉的跟你儿子说，你再闹，爸爸已经跟你说了，你再闹，爸爸就要带你回家。And then you did it， 他就闹了，然后你就说 Melody I'm sorry， 但是因为我跟我儿子说，他如果再闹，我要带他回家，所以我现在必须要先带他回家。And I was actually shocked because I think a lot of parents 会威胁他们的孩子，但他不见得说到会做到。But you were serious and you told him that you were going to do this, and then you did it.And you left, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, 就是 parenting 其实是你的 priority， 不是 like birthday parties 或人家怎么看你，或者 social gatherings. Sometimes it's an investment up front， 因为有时候有一些父母亲会觉得说啊，I wish 我可以就不理这个孩子，然后just 过我的生活，但反而就变成 you know 孩子大了，你要 reap the consequences， 以至于现在你孩子真的超乖的，就是你那时候就有这样子的概念，就是你说到做到，我觉得我这个很佩服你。
Yeah， 但这个对自己的就是要父母也要说到做到，就是自己要 be a role model. It's not easy. 当有一个孩子的时候 ，I really try to be a great dad, but I'm still learning. You know, I'm not perfect, but because I invested my time on the firstborn, 慢慢你会看到那个 impact. Because then now you have a son that is a role model to the siblings. So I have to say, 就是 first one is always the hardest, right? But then as time goes on, what you've invested is going to you'll see the reward reward you reap. But I'm not saying it lightly, like 好像 discipline is my priority. I've put my focus on loving the kids and having the relationship. Discipline comes as a way to show that love even further. So if I didn't establish that love and trust, then discipline is only just one aspect. If you can set your boundary right for the sake of loving your kid, I really think that is the priority that the parent have to figure it out. Are you doing it for the sake of like you want this person to follow your order, follow your command because you're the parent, or you truly think that you're trying to 为他们好这样子？我觉得这个是最难的一个部分。
但很多父母亲会觉得，当然我是为孩子好啊我还需要 defend myself 嘛。But can you spell it out like practically？ 你知道像以前我们教会内在生活也有什么如何教养孩童 ，like step 1, step 2， like can you spell out how do you discipline your kids? How do you let them know 爸爸的出发点呢？等等等。
我觉得每一个孩子的年龄成熟度都不一样，很难真的 spell it out 你知道吗？因为每一个人不一样，而且他个性不一样。例如说，有些孩子个性他就比较安静一点，对，那有些比较 vocal 一点。如果你不喜欢 vocal 的孩子，你对这个人就比较严厉，你知道吗？所以有时候很难是说 this is how you do it because 你真的很需要是 constantly ask God for wisdom, like how do I raise my kids? Sometimes I have to change my strategies. Sometimes I have to just decide to let it go. And you'll be like, that's not fair. How come you do this to this and you don't do that to that, right? But the reality is that's what I feel I need to do at the moment. And I can't really explain, like, is this the right thing or are you being inconsistent? Yeah. The truth is you never know if you're doing the right thing. But if your heart is disconnected, like you're not connected to God, you don't really know. 有时候真的就是在那个 moment 的时候，我里面还其实好像外面我是在跟他很严厉的谈这件事情，可是我里面是一直在问神说 What do I do? What do I do? There's no formula, to be honest.
做父母亲真的很不容易。So there's no book. There's no manual.
没有 no manual. 如果有 manual, 那你就是 raising a system of robots growing up to be. No, I'm just saying, 就是人是活的 right? 那所以孩子会越来越成熟。我常常问我一个问题，就是那我怎么知道 when 他是成熟？然后 you can。那有时候我的孩子有些长得比较快，那有些时候我在比较大的孩子面前，我要想想看，那我对我小的孩子要怎么做？就这整个 formula is getting more and more complex, So at one point, I really feel 就是 being parents is hard, but 就是你如果 are willing to improve and you're willing to like let go of your own thinking like this is the best, this is whatever, 你里面常常是愿意去就是仰望神嘛，对不对？那但是不是只是平时仰望，然后在关键时间不仰望，就是 constantly you're asking God for that wisdom that you need. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. 那你跟 Alice 的 partnership, what does that look like?
I think the most successful thing that I can bring out to this is because my wife. Without her, actually, none of these things will work. Because it's subtle, but it's very impactful, I feel. That because she's really willing to submit to, when I say submit, 有一点点好像说，是不是她好像比较 inferior? No, it's because she admires the dad and she shows her support to the dad. She trusts the dad, even when dad makes a mistake. That I feel like really set up a great model for the kids to be willing. Not saying I'm always right. When I'm wrong, I just admit I'm wrong and I ask for forgiveness. But 他对我的那种 trust 不是因为我是对的，是因为我是他的 husband, her loved ones. You know, 就是他在 demonstrate 的是一种 relationship, 一种 trust, and that's powerful. 因为没有他在这边 anchor 这件事情的话 sometimes I might just be a mean dad, or sometimes I might just be like 就是不讲理的 dad, right? Or something like that. You can take it that way. But because of this relationship, I feel like because we set this as the atmosphere in the house, is what really made the parenting work. Yeah.
那我也想要再问一下 Peter 啦 like in terms of big family, because you have 6 kids. For most people now in the modern world, that's a lot of kids. What has been your journey from parent of 1 to 2 to 3, 4, 5, 6? Does it get easier, or do you feel like you're in over your head? Are you like slowly going crazy, or you're slowly finding your balance? I don't know. Like what is that like?
我以前在 raise other people's kids, right? 那我就会觉得说很可惜，因为我一个礼拜碰到他一次，然后 most of the time 我也不知道他家里发生什么情况。那你知道在古早的日子，那种师傅跟门徒的关系，他们都是住在一起的，生活在一起的，因为他传承的不是只是一个技术。 它传承的是一个生命，一个理念，师父跟门徒嘛。那所以对我来讲，就是说，当我有一个孩子可以在这么小的时候跟我生活在一起，是一个很 rare 的事情，因为现在已经很少人做这种事情了。So I take it as my privilege.有这个机会能够有一个 human being 在我家跟我能够生活在一起 I have the opportunity, the privilege to pass down what God has instilled in my life. We never really like plan like, oh, let's have 10 kids or let's have 5 kids or let's have 1 kid. No, we didn't really plan. We trust the Lord. 那在这个当中就是我知道说 every kid that God has entrusted us is our blessing. So it's never really a burden like, oh, more kids. And it actually, I feel like this is what Alice have said, 一个孩子两个孩子跟6个孩子一样难。It's pretty much the same. So of course, financially 可能就那是不是这另外问题
And you live in the Bay Area.
Bay Area 最贵的地方
Seriously.
Right. I'm grateful for my family because they're supportive. You know, like 就是 be there for us. And just
You mean your extended family?
Yeah, my-
It takes a tribe, I think, to
exactly,
raise a
exactly.
kid.
And now we have like other family that's joining along in this journey, and it gets, I wouldn't say easier, but it gets more and more exciting and fun and manageable in the sense 就是 you know all these factors takes into account. So 不是靠我们自己一个家庭而已，是 actually we do need a community. You know,
Yeah.
we need to build that community, and for this past 2-3 years is what we've been focusing on. So what if we have a community that share like-minded of how we want to raise our children, and we raise them like a tribe, like a village? What would that look like? So I think the challenge part is to find people willing to do this together. It's much easier to do it with my own family, like Alice and me and our kid, but we want to grow the family, and I think that's the harder part. And many times when I have to deal with my other kids in our community, it's not easy because we haven't established that trust.
Yeah.
So maybe I have to spend time intentionally. I go hug them, try to be their uncle, or I don't know, 一开始人看我可能是一个 stranger uncle, like who's this, right? 然后慢慢的 building trust, 然后 we find ways we can connect together in a fun way. So 慢慢我就看到说我也可以开始 impact 到我的 community 的孩子, which is what I desire to see.
Wow. So speaking of fun and exciting and connecting with kids, 我们来讲讲你最近的企划. You invented a new game.
Yeah.
为什么会突然想要做这件事情 and how did it come about?
So I think this is a continuation of this journey of raising children and building the community, because I feel like what we lack is a tool. What we lack is a good solution for this environment. So what do we struggle with? What does our kids struggle with? Is we're online all the time now, constantly being fed by information. We have to work. We rely on the screen a lot. And so that actually cut off a genuine connection between human beings. Like, this is just the way we are. We can't change it. But what if we have tools that help us intentionally remove ourselves from distractions, and you and I can focus on something together, and we have a chance to have great conversation.
Because it's a board game.
It's a board game.
It's a computer game.
It's not a computer game. It's a physical game, which I feel like is important. People might be like thinking this is old school, like why are you going backwards? But there's some things that you can never replace with technology, like the experience. For example, bowling. If you play bowling, it's heavy. It has the weight, and when you throw, you get to hear it. When you guys hit strike, you're like excited. You can do that with a phone, sure, but it's not all. The experience is not the same.
Yeah.
So there's some things you can't replace with technology thing, which is the advantage. And so this game actually didn't come with like, oh, let's invent a game. It came from a invitation almost. Just one day, my kids and I, we were in this Airbnb. It was snowy. There was nothing to do. So I was thinking like, let's play some board game, because the Airbnb is full of board games. We just played. And I was like, oh, my kids is getting so smart. They're strategizing. They're becoming like me, my mini-me, because I used to do that. And I realized, well, they grow so fast. And then I start thinking about what was I doing in their age? There's some card games I played, but they're not all that great in terms of value. Okay. So I was thinking like, maybe we need something that I can share with, because I love the strategies behind these card games, but I don't want to introduce these lores to my kids necessarily. So then I had that invitation of, what if you create a game with your kid? I was like, that's a great idea. Yeah, I wouldn't mind do that. The next morning, I woke up in the middle of the night, maybe 2 a.m. And then, I just felt like God was speaking to me, I had this set of rules that I just quickly typed down on my phone. And the next day I tried it with my kid. And surprisingly, it worked. It was not just one of those dreamy things like you had a great idea and then you woke up and said, no, it doesn't work. You know, it actually worked. I was like, whoa. And then from then on, we started to develop this game to be more and more solid. You know, you and I actually tried this game together.
Yes.
And that was like very, very early stage. We have made 100 revisions since then for the purpose of streamline the game, make it simpler to start. So you actually start from the highest, the hardest mode. So I can still remember you had this face like, what is going on? Okay. Now we made it so simple that a 4-year-old, 5-year-old can start, right? But it can continue to grow into complexity. It's simple, but you can master the game. And you need someone there to be with you. And that's what this thing is about. The parent can be the coach for your kids.
I love it. I love how creative you are. 就是 Peter 其实他兴趣广泛啊. He was in music, producing, and then 在我们敬拜团队也有一起服侍青雨路 and then kids ministry. But you always think, you know, kind of out of the box. And now you're inventing a board game and all of that stuff. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Peter.
It's for the kids. God has it all planned out. Yeah.
Speaking of mission in life, I think I'm going to talk to your partner in life now.
All right.
Alice.
就是我可以用英文的吗？
可以啊，用英文都 OK. Alice, I think I knew you even longer than I've known Peter, right?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. How old were you when we met?
I think I was 18.
18, but I was
12.
12. Yeah. And we even shared the same room for like a whole summer or something.
So we're like sisters.
Yeah, we're like sisters. So Peter gushed on you a little bit. Just you guys have an amazing family, but it's really, I think it really is impossible to do it without a partner. How long have you guys been married now?
So we got married 2010. So it's
like 15 years.
15 years.
15 years. What's that like? What were your expectations going into marriage and how have they held up or changed?
I don't know what my expectations were.
你很单纯啊。
I guess happily ever after.
And so?
Well, I feel like after I got married, 我才发现我才开始认识这个人。就之前都是表面，然后我才开始学习喜欢我的丈夫，然后我觉得我每一天一天过就越来越喜欢他，越来越喜欢他。
That's good. It's better than the opposite.
我觉得也是每一天做的选择，然后他现在变越来越可爱。
Aww. How about being a mother? Did you always see yourself being a mother growing up?
No, 我没有想过。
我觉得 Alice 真的就是很单纯，很单纯。Like, to be honest, knowing you for so many years, I think a lot of us never would have imagined you would be a mother of 6.
我也没有想过。
Yeah. So it's really, I think it's a really good testimony. How do you do it?
我觉得这就是一天一天活啊，就是活一天 ，like a roller
So just
coaster
one step
ride,
at
I
a time,
guess.
right? 就可能你不用去想那么远 but you just like
一天一天，
一天
就是明天，no， 今天就计划今天，然后明天就是一定会发生的事情。
Yeah. Especially with such a big family and so many variables, 可能也就只能。
然后每一天要做选择啊，然后每一天会发生的 adventure 都会有一点不一样。
Yeah. What's your favorite thing about being a mom?
每一天可以跟小朋友在一起，然后他们都很可爱，
真的很可爱，
跟先生一样可爱
哦。跟妈妈一样可爱。
跟妈妈一样可爱。
Yeah, 真的 Alice 是很可爱，一直都可爱。She hasn't changed a bit. You haven't changed a bit. Like since I've known you. 当然，我觉得还是 now you're a mom, so it's a little different. But you 一直一样单纯，just Alice.
对，这个是我的 strong point.
Your strength.
My strength. OK.
你们在家是讲中文还是讲英文啊？
OK， 我是美国长大的，所以我英文很厉害。
我们都是 ABC。可
是很奇怪，就是我的头脑开始想中文，就是走中文的路，然后呢，我的头脑开始想英文，就会走英文。But I don't know, it's like two different brains, and then sometimes I'm stuck in the middle.
Yeah.
So then,
you don't
like,
know
I don't know. I forget the vocabulary word for this side and that side.
Yeah. Well, was this a conscious decision between you and Peter? Like, 你们在带孩子的时候要讲中文吗？还是
是我。因为我觉得中文是一个很美丽的语言。 我是大学的时候才有这个改变，也是因为我住在你的家。
哦呀，
我以前都是讲英文的，
对啊，
然后我住在你的家，我就被你家里的爱
感动。
filled with the love of your house.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
I don't know， 我觉得也很重要啊。现在像在美国有中国人需要帮忙的时候，我都可以帮他们。
Yeah. It's definitely a huge advantage, especially for your kids. 所以他们的孩子都讲中文，他孩子的中文超好的。其实刚刚 Peter 都在讲很多英文了，其实他们在家你们都在讲中文吧？哈，感觉是因为我现在 whenever I hang out with them， 他们都是中文。
对，大部分是中文，
所以他们中英文都好啊。That's good. Look at you guys. You guys are raising very smart, intelligent, emotionally intelligent kids. Yeah, I'm really proud of you, Alice.
谢谢。
Yeah. Well, thanks. Is there anything else you want to say to the audience? Encourage them about being a mother or wife?
我觉得每一个妈妈都是最棒的、最独特的，然后每一个孩子也是最独特、很特别的，所以你们每一个都很棒。
哦，你也是。Good job, Alice.
谢谢。
Was this your first podcast ever?
Yes.
You did great. You did great. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. 我知道我们今天穿插很多中英文，但是字幕你们就可以打开嘛 SRT. So thank you guys for watching. Bye. 小朋友会想要上镜头吗？还是不用？大家就是来 say 个 hi 一下就好了。Just say 个 hi. Say your name and your age and your favorite hobby.
OK.
这是老大。
Hello， 我的名字是 Elijah， 中文名字是庄以峰。然后呢，我13岁，我最喜欢做的事情是玩 pickleball 跟玩 The Justice Card game。
哦，还会帮爸爸加个广告，太厉害了。
Well, it is one of the main things I play.
Wow, that's a good promo. 所以 Elijah 真的是我抱着长大的 ，and 这个孩子真的超成熟。The waffles, pancakes he makes are very good. 好，下一位 Gideon。Hello，
大家好，我的名字叫 Gideon， 然后中文名字是庄以仁，然后呢，我今年12岁，然后我最喜欢的东西是玩 pickleball 跟乒乓球跟 Justice Card，
还有 Justice Card， 每一个都 Justice Card。Gideon， 我觉得其实每个孩子真的很有他的特色。Gideon 是蛮细的哈，他手很怎么说巧。所以 sometimes when I come 很仔细 I see you 在做一些小的 model 啦或怎么样，很厉害。What do you think is you want to do with that when you grow up? 你喜欢 make things or?
Yeah， 我喜欢 make things 跟像 sport 的类型的东西。
比较 physical. I think your hand-eye coordination is pretty good. All right， 下一位。
Hello， 大家，我的名字叫做Josie，然后我喜欢做 pom pom， 然后我也喜欢
pom pom。
pom pom 是一个 art and craft 的东西，像一个 sewing 的东西，可是不是 sewing 的东西。
哦 ，sewing。
然后我也喜欢 sewing， 然后我也喜欢打 pickleball， 我也喜欢玩 Justice Card。
太厉害，你孩子都训练得这么好。这个孩子 Josie
真的呀，
是真的
玩那些东西啊。
OK，Josie 我觉得也是非常特别。This is in my memory when he was younger。我每次回来或者甚至打电话 long distance， 然后 Josie 就是好多的话，然后可以介绍很多他最近在做的事情。Like I'm sure you'll be a very great communicator。
我想要当Zookeeper， 我也想要
Zookeeper，
我也想要当那个卖动物跟卖 pom pom 跟卖 art and craft 的东西。什么？
所以你很喜欢动物是不是？
对。
哦 ，very cool，very cool。好，刚刚大家有没有听到一个小声音在后面？来 ，Haley 要不要上来介绍一下你自己啊？这是他们的公主。
我的名字叫哈利，我6岁，然后我最喜欢玩 Justice Card。
刚刚那一句再讲一次。
我最喜欢玩 Justice Card。
哎呦，那妹妹，你那么多的哥哥，会不会有时候觉得他们很吵啊？
不会。
哇，他们都对你好吗？ 那就好。不是，他们家5个男生1个女生。You know， 哈利出生的时候，我们大家都就非常珍惜这个小妹妹，可爱的要命。还有没有想要再讲什么话？
养狗，
养狗。
Josie 讲的。
哦，Josie 讲的。你最喜欢做的事情，除了 Justice Card 以外是什么？
Pickleball。
也是 Pickleball。
跟妈妈不让我打，她只让我打一点点。
OK， wow, everyone likes pickleball. OK, cool. 好，下一位 Brandon。你 say 个 hi 也就可以了，要不要？好，那 Brandon 有一点 shy。这个2个都是在 COVID 的期间啊，是不是生的？
是，太多人看着你看，你叫什么名字？你叫什么名字？来，你讲，你叫什么名字？
对面的 Brandon。
Brandon, my name is Brandon。大声一点，大声一点。很好啊，你讲很好啊。来，你叫做 Brandon。
没关系，没关系。
直播的时候就会有声音了。
所以 ，How old are they right now？
你几岁
？Brandon 几岁
？4岁。
4岁。
你几岁？
是2岁。
2岁。
那这个会讲话吗？
会，他会一点点。
OK， 我好像还没听过他讲话。
会，他会讲话。你几岁？2岁。好。
Legend 可能。
他叫你帮我介绍他的名字，他叫什么名字
？Legend， 他的名字叫 Legend， 他2岁。
哦，那你自己的名字为什么没有介绍？再一次，你叫什么名字？
我的名字叫 Brandon。
哦，好，很好。你 Brandon 几岁？
我4岁。
那弟弟几岁
？Legend 2岁。
好，介绍完毕。
讲得很清楚诶，谢谢庄家。有没有？真的实在太可爱了。Thank you guys, bye.
Thank you.
依靠你，我必不知羞愧；依靠你，我必不知羞愧。